Hey, good evening, everybody. All the members of Tax Sale Support, welcome out to the weekly webinar. We're so happy to have you join us.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to, like Shade said, welcome you out. We want to welcome any of our new students, the first time attending. Glad you could get on. And of course, we want to welcome back all of our attendees and members that have been with us for a long time.
Yeah, we've been holding these weekly webinars for years now, every Wednesday night.
Since 2007.
Yeah, and we don't have a lot of them that are canned. You know, we generally try to cover things at least that are different in a lot of different ways. And so, you know, if you have things you'd like us to cover, or things that you're not sure on, or you know, we're always happy to take requests or questions, and it always helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as any news or announcements, we just want to let all of our members know about the 3-day boot camp. A lot of our coaching students will be attending this, and it's going to be coming up on October 11th through the 13th in Las Vegas.
Yeah, which you know, we coming up. It's a little. So we still have about 6 weeks away, 5-6 weeks away now, but it is coming up, and we are thrilled about it because, well, when I guess, you know, we've done events in the past here, but our company's a little bit different, and the way that it works is a little bit different. Most of the people that end up doing personal coaching with us are people that come from our membership program, and people in our membership program kind of come in through a lot of the videos and stuff that we have out there. And so you know, it's basically when we work with a lot of these people over a long period of time. And so with this event that we have coming up, it's going to be a pretty, you know, at least a larger group of people that we've been working with over a longer time. A lot of these people have bought and sold many properties by now.
Yeah, well, and what that means is that, you know, the training isn't going to be, you know, some type of fluff training. You know, we've put a lot of work into this, and we plan on teaching a lot of information. So you're going to be coming, or the people that are going to be coming are already students that we've worked with. Most of them on our coaching program have done different types of deals. So it's really going to be a higher type level training. And in the past, we've been, like Shade said, we've been, you know, like I mentioned, we've been, you know, holding some type of events. Started in 2007 holding, you know, seminars and trainings like this. And we've usually always charged $2,995 for our ticket, but we wanted to lower that price to, you know, to the very lowest we possibly can to give our members an opportunity to come out to meet us. And so for members of our program, it's only $997.
Yeah, and we're doing everything we can to also, you know, to make sure that we're making it a great event. So yeah, if you can make it, we think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting hotel details worked out this week. We're trying to work out the best possible deal so that if you'd like to stay in the same hotel that we'll be doing the conference, we're trying to work out a deal with them.
Yeah, that's always more convenient. And so, yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah, so as far as tonight's topic, what we want to do is we want to go through and just review some of the upcoming September auctions, list opportunities that are happening, but then actually go and start looking at live upcoming auctions and live upcoming sales.
Yeah, which there are a lot of sales that are happening. In fact, it seems like there are more ways you can buy now than there have ever been before.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're constantly researching and finding new over-the-counter lists, new areas, new online auctions, new types of auctions. In fact, we've already started adding Canada tax sale lists to Canada tax sales to our auction calendar as well. And so we'll go through and talk about, you know, all of the different states that are available. So as far as the USA and the tax sales happening in September 2019, there's actually 28 different states that are handling auctions this month.
Yeah, which, you know, if you think about it, we have over half the states in the country that have, you know, auctions that are happening, and you know, in some cases, it's the time of the year when these, you know, states hold their sales, or in other cases, you know, they're states that always have opportunities nearly every month.
Yeah, that's a good point. But there is a huge amount of opportunity for both tax lien investing, for tax deed investing.
In practically every part of the country too.
Yeah, exactly. Redemption deed redemption. Well, I mean, over 50%, maybe 60%, something like that, of the states within in the country have tax sales.
Coming up in the next 3 weeks.
Even if you don't have a tax sale in your state, there's got to be a tax sale that you're bordering that have good chance has an auction taking place within driving distance for most people if they actually wanted to attend one.
Well, and the tax sales that you could attend in here, would range everything from very easy tax liens to buy to tax deeds. That I'm sure there's single family homes in within here, and you've also have incredible pieces of land that are for sale. Some also amazing over-the-counter opportunities in some of these places, I'll bet too.
Yeah, well, within each one of these places, there's going to be opportunities for both online tax lien auctions, live tax lien auctions, online tax deed, live tax deed, online redemption, and live redemption as well.
Yeah. So, there are a huge number of lists, and the number of lists that exist only continue to grow. Yeah.
Now, as far as Canada, we have started, like I mentioned, getting all of the Providence tax sales that are taking place. And the way that Canada holds their tax sales is they hold them on a city, a village, a district, a county basis. And so they're a little bit different than the United States.
But in a lot of ways, it's kind of similar, though, too, because basically their tax sales are held by local governments.
Yeah, definitely that's going to be, it'd be similar to maybe someplace like Maine or something like that, New Jersey, where the cities and those type of governments will hold the tax sales. But, we have, tax sales for 5 of the provinces, and we have over 100 tax sales for this month. So there's a ton of opportunity in British Columbia and some of these different areas if you are up in that area to take advantage of some of these tax sales and go out and attend them.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of them use a type of tax deed system, but then again, there's also some variation we've seen between how they handle it and approach it. Some of them are almost like redemption deeds.
Yeah, combination of both types, depending on where they at and what type of sale it is.
Yeah, but for those for people who live in Canada, you actually have to go through some different hurdles in order to get set up to invest in the U.S., which some of you may have already done, or some of you could be working on. But there's also that chance to invest right there in Canada.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about they don't have as high interest rate as they do. I've seen it between around 7 to 10% usually in Canada if they do have that redemption period attached to it. But you are just paying the back taxes or that amount. So it does give you the opportunity to own the property for still a fraction of its value, where still, even at, let's say it's 5%, that's 5 times better than you're getting out of your CD.
Yeah, absolutely. There are also a lot of over-the-counter opportunities right now happening the end of this summer here.
Yeah, well, and a lot of these are going to be different states that don't have auctions. In some of these states, West Virginia, Wisconsin, some of these states we may not have auctions. And
covers more of the United States, really.
Yeah. Well, by the time we get through the land banks, the over-the-counters or the live or online auctions, there's pretty much opportunities in every state.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of that aren't covered.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way the tax sales have always kind of revolved around the summers. Traditionally, that's when a lot of the places have traditionally held them. But then again, it's just always the busiest time of year.
One thing to mention as well is the states that are underlined are states that offer both tax liens and tax deeds. In fact, there's some states that I forgot to mention in there. Mississippi, there might be a couple others that have both tax liens and deeds.
Yeah, which is a growing number. But
West Virginia has tax liens and deeds. Yeah, so there's a couple here that have both of them.
Yeah, that is. Land banks are something also kind of a new opportunity that varies in. Well, certainly in some cases, I think they can be helpful. In other cases, maybe they focus. A lot of them focus on more like improved properties that have potential.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be lots of different land banks that are set up, and it'll be kind of depending on the state and what type of property. Some, like Shade said, have structures that they're trying to put back into property owners' hands and make them livable again. Some are set up more like Michigan, where you can just go in and buy them, where there's all kinds of different properties. But this is still another opportunity for for you to buy property, for below market value. And
some of the land banks will start for very low percentages. We've seen some of them have may entertain offers as offers under $500.
Yeah. Then we're also starting to gather overage list. Like we've, in fact, we're getting more and more questions about it, about overage training. It's not something that we really have focused on ourselves or done a ton of. We understand how it works, but we've always been more interested in the tax lien and deed side of it. But we are looking at putting some training together for students, and we have started, collecting overage lists, and we'll continue expanding the overage list collection over time. Just because, our students are requesting it, and there's students that want to know more about that. And so, we always want to be able to provide what we can for you.
Yeah, solid. Plus, we're there anyway, so we might as well gather them and do what we can, provide information on them, see if we can learn them. There's no point in not learning them.
Yeah.
And so from here, we're going to go and take a look at some of the auctions and things that are taking place, see some of the opportunities that are out there, because that's what we feel like a lot of you need to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's also a lot of fun. We always have students that seem to like going through and reviewing and looking at upcoming auctions. And so, we want to be able to do that today.
Okay, so
what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and go to the website, taxsalesupport.com, and then from there, we'll just start researching and reviewing the auction calendar.
Okay, now let me get this pulled over here so you can see. Okay. Actually, hold on. Sorry, almost there here. I'll have it pulled up here. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and go to the auction calendar. And we've made a couple of changes within the auction calendar. If you look within the week or the day view, if we posted the tax lien auctions in green, or the tax deed auctions in red. We posted the redemption deed auctions in orange, and Canada or other, which other will include IRS, Treasury, anything like that, some other type of governmental sale will include within blue. So as you start going through and looking, you can see all of the different types of tax sales that are taking place, and either the color will be coordinated with what type of tax sale they are. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll go ahead and start looking at some of these upcoming auctions in Michigan and just give an idea of some of the properties that are coming up for sale there.
Yeah, so for Michigan, it looks like Saginaw, Michigan actually starts tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at and see what type of upcoming opportunities are there. And you know, Michigan is getting near the end of the sale, and what they've done in years past, and we assume they'll do it again this year, is any property that didn't sell at the first sale is going to be offered in a resale. And during the resale, a lot of times these auctions start at $100 bid. So there can be
some nice properties.
Yeah, very nice properties. So there could be property that didn't get bids on because the back taxes were too high. So maybe it was a great $10,000 lot, but there was $4,000 in property tax and somebody didn't buy it. Well, when it comes to the resale, it's going to start out at a $100 bid. So suddenly, you know, the property looks a lot more appealing and a lot more profitable.
So let's see, you know, minimum bid of 8,100 I noticed on 3 of these properties here, but wanted to take a look and see if they had more images or could tell us a little bit more about it, because you know, that's not too high of a you know, an opening bid amount, but it looks like it is like a commercial setup, you know, or a school or something. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's definitely some type of, you know, structured.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I'm not sure if this county does, but sometimes they'll have notes on the property as well.
You can see, so it has an address there, 5815.
There's one picture.
And let's see here. So we can see primary feature includes commercial building. You know, we can only see that part here. But there's no other real notes for it.
Yeah, well, if we were going to submit a bid, we'd really, at this point, have to see what we can get through the county, start searching Google Maps. Let's see what other kind of properties are available on the list.
Yeah, yeah, there were actually several of these looked pretty good, including a couple of single-family homes that were starting out at 7,000 or 8,000 here. Look at that, that's like a whole church.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see what this is. It starts at 8,300, but it looks like an old church. It looks like a cathedral, kind of. I mean, see the current tax. Okay, so minimum bid's 8,300. Current tax is 1,100. SEV though is 0, and
This county didn't post as much.
no, they don't have as much information here about it.
Most of the counties are pretty good.
Just one photo too.
You know, one thing you can do is if you click off this, I think that they usually will have the map that you can click on that'll, you know, will pull up a Google map to it.
Yeah, and that way we can, they already have the coordinates platted out there, so we can at least see where the property is located at, and
also see a satellite image here as well.
Yeah, we can see they do have a satellite image here and the street side image here available for us, so it's a little bit slow here to get moving, but we'll be able to see the overhead image here. And American, let's see what, so it's here by the American, or is the American GI form? I can't quite tell. Let's see if we can go directly to that street side image and see what the property is.
If it's taking a while, we can go back and look at another property.
Yeah, it seems like it is struggling here. Yeah, but yeah, here, let me just shut off Google Maps here, and let's go back to the catalog and look, because the 2 popular homes they had there looked like they were occupied. Look at that one. That is for 2,800, and that looks like a condo or a whole building.
Probably, I would imagine it could be a condo. It could be. There's nice, you know, a nice home right there for 8,200.
Yeah, and then a bid of 2,800, SCV at 13.6, and the 13.6 is low. It's kind of like a low assessed value. You know, the market's always higher. Yeah, this is a condominium.
Well, and you could look up that address right there on Zillow and see what the market looks like within it.
Yeah, yeah, which is, part of what you would want to do is figure out, what the comps are doing there. But yeah, that looks interesting here. Let me go back into that catalog there and look, because,
That
here.
right went over.
Oh yeah, sorry. This one's only 2,900. It looks
Yeah.
kind of clean and nice. And yeah, look, that one we were looking at there a second ago looked
The
like,
one on the far right for 82. It's a
Yeah.
little more expensive, but that looks like,
well, it has SAV of 61,000, real world value on it.
let's check out the Zillow value on that.
All right, so it looks like it's 3157 South Airport Road here, and we know that this is in Saginaw.
Probably Bridgeport. $131.
139 looks like.
139, yeah.
Yeah, that is the property built in 1964, sitting on a little bit more than a half acre. And yeah, the value rent estimate on it of $950 a month. And yeah, 140,000.
I think that rent is low.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's on a 0.6 acres. So you're talking about, a good sized lot, even if it does need, some fix ups, there's plenty of value within it. And starting at $8,200, get it for 8,200, get it for 10, even get it for 15, even 20,000. There could be potential profit, a huge amount of profit within that type of deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just for this sale tomorrow here, really there are a lot of properties, and one of the things we've seen with these Michigan sales are that some of the properties get attention, but some of them get completely ignored.
Yeah, well, one of our coaching students just bought a home on the auction for around $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
Got a pretty good home. There's a home starting at $7,000, all brick right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're looking at some of the nice homes, but there's also even some decent little building lots that's starting at lower minimum bids and things like that could be an opportunity. There's $650. I don't know if it's worth anything, but
boy, there are a lot of houses on it,
and they're better condition.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that are in pretty fair condition. We got $2,200, opening bid.
Let's take a look at the Zillow on this thing so that we can.
It's in Signal.
And what I want to do here is take a look at. Yeah, see what the surrounding values here.
They're not showing very high, value in this particular area on Zillow. So what I'd want to do from there is, the land looks pretty expensive. So I'd want to see what type of property you're currently for sale.
Yeah.
So, I'm really gonna base that off of what's currently available as well. Where, we're probably just looking at lots of land.
Oh yeah, in fact, yeah, we would have to switch that up there. Yeah.
Well, and if we were just looking for only houses, we may just put only houses in there.
Yeah.
Or if we were looking at one of those condos, would, really kind of narrow it down as well to see.
The thing about a property like this is that, it has minimum bid of 2,200, and I'm not sure what you'll end up paying to get into it here, but it's something that people can live in. If it's livable and usable, then it will always have value there as a rental, or as, something that people can live in, and it's better off having somebody live in it, than not. But yeah, just not necessarily very high up on the price scale to give you that kind of an opportunity. And you can obviously spend more than that. You can spend 10,000 there pretty easily on houses.
Well, and also one thing that you're looking at is that, when we're looking at these prices, they can totally be dependent on that particular city or that particular area, even within the city. So here we're looking in within the entire county. So there may be different cities, different parts of town that are going to have a lot higher value. We just looked at that one home that was worth 140 versus one that's worth maybe 20.
Let's see here. Oh, and for Michigan and their resale, 30 days after their initial auction, is that when they hold the resale?
Usually 30, 60 days. It kind of depends. Usually that's probably right, but we'll have to wait and actually see.
Yeah, just looking to see here if they had any commercial land there, which I didn't see.
Well, and we're just looking at one sale. There's a couple of other sales that are coming up as well.
Yeah.
You can see some of the properties start with minimum bids of $500 though. So, there's some property that you could potentially get for $500, $750,
Yeah.
where you may do some research and maybe it's worth 5 or 10 grand. Well, if you're able to pick it up for 750 and it's worth, let's say worth 7,500 and you're getting it for 10 cents on the dollar, well, then it could be worth it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this because there were a whole bunch of sales that
there's actually quite a few. Let's look at one more real quick, and because there's some other auctions that we can check out as well.
Yeah, so what they still have listed there.
The 6th.
Yeah, let's go up there. Genesee. I think these sales will continue for the next month or so, month and a half.
Right now, they only have a few of them listed ahead.
Yeah. There we go. Now it's coming up here, and wow. So we can see, what the minimum bids are on some of these properties here. The popular ones, only $650 on that one. It looks like a
click on it.
Brick house. I can't tell.
Or church.
Yeah, they don't give it any value there. But yeah, I think it is a church. Let's take a look. So we're looking at a June of 2011 image, as the closest street site image we have was a True Hope, full gospel Christian church here. And probably the parking lot area there, if I were guessing, but we would have to take a look. It looked like it was being cared for though at the time.
The one thing that we do need to be wary. This is Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
And there's just been some problems with the water and everything going on there. So we want to look into the market a little bit more before we were to go, crazy at this particular area.
Yeah. In fact,
but there could be good deals, that are picked up. It's all depending on what we're paying and, and the condition, especially in this type of an area when it comes to structures, because there is, homes, boarded up homes there.
Yeah, a lot of attractive stuff. They have quite a bit of land available in this one. Yeah, wide ranging type. I mean, what is that? Some commercial opportunities too.
That's a nicer one.
Yeah, here's for 256. So here's, and again, this one isn't really the best example here, but we'll take a look here. It's not unusual to find properties like these that have, bid amounts that are, a tenth of what they're worth or what it would cost to try to rebuild some of these. I don't know what, again, with where it's located at and everything else, we're not going to dump anything crazy into it, obviously, but we like to look at some of the stuff to see what's, to see what's out there and what's available. Oh, and yeah, these are tax deed sales. Essentially, these are properties, that can be acquired or purchased outright.
Yeah, so whoever wins will essentially acquire the property.
All right, so let me pull up here the other page.
Do is just pull up the auction calendar and just continue scrolling down. I think.
Oh yeah, I've got it back up.
I just wanted to quickly look at, a New Jersey auction coming up on the 12th, just to look at some tax liens.
All right, let's see here on the 12th.
Yeah. So we'll probably need to go over to the next page or go on the month view.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go to the 12th here, and
so I'll just continue scrolling down. There's Indiana. Look for the other green. Keep scrolling down.
right here.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Here, Hillsborough, New Jersey, online tax lien auction, and yeah, this looks like an auction through Real Auction.
Yeah, exactly. Just showing different types of sales that are coming up.
Yeah, so these are over-the-counter liens in New Jersey.
Yep. And in fact, we have, both online New Jersey tax liens list. We also have a live auction list as well. So, some of these New Jersey cities and townships will go ahead and hold theirs online. Some will go ahead and hold them live still. But, just kind of give you an idea, as we're looking at the face value there of $7,000 versus a property that's worth $250,000, is that $7,000 protected? Well, yeah, it's protected by, essentially $250,000 worth of real estate.
Yeah, $120,000 in building and $120,000, in land. So $8,000, $7,000 investment's highly secure.
Yeah.
They don't provide us with that certificate history there, so.
Well, kind of a little bit different there as well, so.
Yeah. But let's see here.
Most of these are probably first-year liens because people are paying the taxes after.
Yeah, and that's the information that pulled up here when I clicked on the ADV number here. Let's see what comes up here. So if I click on the second one, then what comes up is the parcel search tool for the for this county in New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah, and we'd have to go through. They're not just pulling it up automatically. So
yeah, we still have to plug it in.
Yeah, so if we were going to buy any of these, then we'd research into that. But just as a quick review, you can see these different types of properties, whether it be here's a commercial property, definitely shows value versus the amount.
Yeah, $5,000 face amount, building value of 103 and land value of 57, so 161. Again, highly secured liens. And the percentage you earn in New Jersey, I forget.
Yeah, it starts at 18.
Yeah, so again, you're not competing with anybody directly, or what the bid takes it down to here, but opportunity to make a pretty good high interest rate of return. And let's see how many they had here. 216 they have, it looks like.
Yeah, and there's quite a few different auctions that will be either opening or taking place over this month in New Jersey. So whether it be the online auction or live auction, there's going to be some opportunities. Let's go ahead and go through up to September 25th. I just want to take a look at a New York auction that's coming up just quickly, just to kind of show a hard list and how some of the hard list will kind of look like. Let's go ahead and click on the 25th and click on Essex County.
Let's see
here.
Yep, right here.
Yep. So what's going to happen? It's going to pull up all of the lists that are available within the county. And one thing that's nice is you can see that it kind of shows you a preview. So we could look at some of these different auctions, but let's just quickly take a look at Essex. We could look at some of the other ones after as well. But you know, just wanted to give you guys an idea of the different types of lists. When we get our list from the county, we get them directly how the county has them. So some counties will have PDF or Excel lists. Some counties will have information online. We essentially have to take off and make it into a PDF or put it into an Excel sheet. But you can see here, you know, this is one that essentially has a bunch of different structured properties coming up for sale.
Yeah, look at that. You know, they've got some of the ones highlighted there. Online bidding available, 11% buyer's premium. That's something, you know, important stuff to pay attention to, so that you're accounting for it.
Yeah, so this, if you wanted to participate in this sale, you actually could, but you're going to take you're going to, you know, factor in that 11% premium that you're going to pay over the cost. Now, a lot of these auctions have been starting at $100 in New York, so the opening bid will start at $100. We've seen properties sell as little as $500 or under $500 for some types of building lots and different types of land properties within some of these auctions. So there's definitely could be some real good, well, there's a ton of opportunity, but there's going to be some good deals that are picked up.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we can zoom in here.
What's nice about this little list is it kind of shows you the full market value there, you know, the year built, some of the information, and then also kind of gives you a photo as well. So as you're going down here, you can kind of see what each one of the properties are. You can see number 16 is looks like a mini mart.
Yeah.
You know, and it was actually built in 2000 plus.
Yeah, built. Yeah, 2000
you know,
plus.
2,000 square feet. You know, it's on a quarter of, no, it's on, you know, 0.40 acres. So, you know, almost half an acre, valued at 213,000. You know, that's the type of property that could have a lot of potential to put a business within there.
Yeah. You know, one small use, you know, building on this one right here, you know, you look, but it's got a value of 75,000. You know, it's 1.7 acres. You look at some of these.
Well, you even look at that vacant piece of land right there, it's worth 23. It could, you know, what if you pick it up for $1,000?
Yeah.
Or $2,000, or even $2,300? You'd still be only buying it for 10 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
you know, almost a full acre.
Yeah, you got another house here, you know, built in the 20s, you know, an older house. Yeah, let's see here. Anything else that looks interesting? Yeah, some of this vacant land though does look pretty attractive. You've got larger tracts that are, you know, either close to an acre or over an acre in size, so they have a high degree of use, and their value is great. A lot of these things could go for cheap and have, you know, have value that can be pretty profitable, you know, if you pick it up for a good low price.
Yeah, and well, there's also some, you know, properties within here that have decent size. You know, they're not just a tiny little building lot, which tiny building lots weren't great, but there's 20 acres right there.
Yeah, that's 20 acres.
You know, so there's going to be different types of opportunity. We've seen commercial properties, and you know, we can go ahead and click out of this one real quick, and we can look at one of the other ones as well. You know, just kind of pick this one out of random, but you know, there's green right there. You could click on and view and see some of the different properties for sale. But you know, all of this information, we've tried to make you know, the auction calendar and the over-the-counter and all of these as simple as possible as far as the website's concerned. So you can go to the auction calendar, and as you click on that week view, you can go through, or even looking at the month view, you can see all of the different auctions that are taking place, and click on and either be directed to the online auction website or the place to download the list or the information to get the list.
Yeah, there are. I mean, a lot of these have good size to them. You know, larger. I mean, normally with a lot of tax sale properties, you find, you know, smaller pieces. Sometimes there'll be leftovers and things like that, but they have just a lot of really attractive pieces of land here.
Well, these properties also have, you know, higher value. Look at that one right there, $300,000. You know, one family residence built in 1988.
6.5 acres too.
Yeah, 6.5 acres versus 300 grand. You know, that's a huge opportunity. There's $300,000 worth of potential profit. You know, and if it does start, even if it started out at 10 or 20 or 30 grand, there's still so much potential profit within that deal that if you can acquire it for a good price, you know, you can. It's hard to lose money on it.
Yeah, here's rural vacant land with you know, access road.
Yeah.
You know, you may have to build it, but it has it at least in there in place. But again, yeah, let me just jump back before we spend too much time on this one, because I'm sure there, you know, we can look at we've got Madison here coming up on the 21st. And let's see what we've got. Yeah, again, you know, some residential stuff. We do have some commercial properties here. I mean, some of the residential stuff looks really nice too. Let me zoom this in just a little bit. Yeah, so everybody can see that now. Yeah, we've got some mobile homes here. This is a house sitting on 5 acres.
Well, you can also see
that's an IRS lien on it too.
Yeah, oh, good. Yeah, it's good they didn't put that. Also, you can see, you know, which ones are occupied.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's occupied, if we do buy that property, we will, you know, there will be somebody living in it when we buy them. So we'll be contacting them, finding out their situation. They could be a potential renter. You know, they could be potential someone to buy the property. If not, we'll be moving them out of the property and fixing it up and getting it ready to either sell or to rent or to do whatever our plan is.
Look at that, rural vacant land, almost 5 acres, you know, starting at $5,000. You can see it looks like at the end of a road. You know, waterfront on Child's Ditch or something. I don't know what that is, but it's a big chunk of land for pretty cheap. 6 acres of land for $7,000 there.
And that's the full market value.
Yeah.
You know, and so the opening bid on these are probably going to start at 100.
And you can see there are tons and tons of structures on here. If you know, if you wanted to go out and do on-site evaluations anywhere here, you know, I'm sure you could pick up something, but there's always good opportunities here with some of these. Some of them have small cells too. At least you can't see the size of St. Lawrence yet here. Oh wow, 184 pages. That's a huge list. Let me see what it consists of here, how much of it the list. So they do have all the details here included.
Well, the truth is, if you're going to be bidding this auction, it's going to be important to go through and review it.
Yeah. Let's see. When do I get to that? Wait, I think. Okay, about St. Lawrence County here, and they've got their towns here. And open house, and here we go. Lot number 1, finally. Okay, so, oh good. They do have kind of their own little pre-selected list version here. See, that's 5.9 acres there. No, these are pretty good though. I like PDFs like this. They work pretty well. Yeah, because they tend to cram everything in there that you need.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, quite the question here is the buyer premium of 11% on the final buy bid.
It's gonna be off the high bid amount. So,
Yeah.
you know, if it starts at $100 and bids to 10,000, it's gonna be off that 10,000.
They'll treat it kind of like a tax.
Yeah.
Wow, though, tons of properties here, and you know, so many great opportunities here. You're good. Yeah, we'll take a look here at one more. So
There's also a Brevard sale coming up on the 26th that has some pretty good stuff on it. Brevard County, Florida.
oh yeah, we'll take a look at that too. Let's see here. So this is the city of Lockport. Let's take a look and see what they have coming up here on the 19th. And again, if you're going to participate in the sale, then take the time, you know, to read everything here. But let's try to get to their inventory to see what we can find. It's interesting. They got a property inspection schedule there if you wanted to look at the properties ahead of time, and this is a big piece here. Let's look. So we have total assessments 81,000, full market 94 in Lockport. Very nice, really. I mean, for improved properties, all of these are great. And one of the things that's nice is that these images there are all, you know, recent that we can see. And so really, it's one of the advantages we get with these types of sales is more recent images. But at the same time, we don't have all of the images here that we might get on some of the other county websites when they do list a property, one with improvements. These ones, the majority of these ones that are improved, at least if it's a house, seem to be occupied or, you know, abandoned. But a lot of these ones that are occupied, you know, seem to be in great shape. Yeah, maybe they still have the capacity to redeem. Again, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, there are a lot of sales here. So many different kinds. You know, in fact, we had a question earlier today from somebody that's trying to figure out how exactly to figure out a state and you know, which state to begin with, how to do that. And what I was trying to explain to them is when we start working with somebody new, let's say we start working with a new coaching student, we would normally take one of two different approaches with them. We're either going to take a location-based approach where we are going to focus on trying to make or get the best deal within a set location. Maybe it's within their home area. They're going to start trying to land a property, and you know, that is an approach that makes a lot of sense when when you're at a certain financial point and you're trying to acquire more property in your area. But the other approach that we take with them is an opportunistic approach, where we are just trying to get the most bang for the buck. We are trying to find, you know, the best possible deals that we can, and so that kind of dictates what types of places that we're looking into is places we think we can get some of those best opportunities. And you know, you can use a location-based approach in the beginning, or if you want to try to focus on the area first. But one of the challenges in the beginning is trying to find enough opportunities out there. You're kind of limited to go where the opportunities are. If you want to buy from an online auction, you need to be looking at online auctions that are happening. If you want to buy over the counter, you've got to be looking at new, fresh over-the-counter lists. So there's a lot of all of that available right now. The most important thing is to get registered for the auction or to download the list and start going through it, because you know, you've got a window of time, you know, where these things are available, whether it's a window of time, you know, before the auction starts, or whether it's a window of time after the auction occurs for over-the-counter stuff. So anyways, you know, Steve had to run here tonight, and so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I do too many webinars with him, so it feels just a little bit weird talking alone. So anyways, guys, unless anybody has any questions, happy to answer. But thanks for joining us tonight. We'll get the recording up and on the website. If there are any other questions, you can send those in to us, or you can have Ann. You can send those in to Ann, and she should be able to answer as well. So, hey, thank you for being here. Have a great night.